The story begins with a newlywed couple who were on their honeymoon. They were on a boat in the sea when they spotted a quiet, remote island. They decided it was the perfect place to camp and spend their honeymoon. After arriving, the wife went to explore the island while her husband secured the boat before joining her. As the wife ventured further into the island, she discovered an abandoned camp surrounded by barbed wire. While she was contemplating the purpose of the camp on such an island, she heard strange noises and movement around her. She became scared and wanted to return to her husband quickly. On her way back, the noises intensified, and she panicked, hiding behind a tree and screaming for her husband to hear and come to her aid. Suddenly, a wild dog appeared and attacked her, dragging her into the woods. She screamed in hopes her husband would hear and rescue her. Her husband did hear her cries and rushed to find her. Meanwhile, a group of young people, John, Matt, Sarah, Nicole, and Noah, arrived on the same deserted island for their vacation. They chose this island specifically because John and Matt's uncle owned a house there. After landing their plane in the water, they began enjoying their time, playing games, and exploring. John, skilled in archery, showcased his talent to the group. Later, they encountered a small dog, which Sarah decided to adopt and care for. That night, while they were having dinner, the small dog left the house. Sarah went out to look for it, taking John along. They soon encountered a wild dog, the mother of the small dog. The wild dog attacked Sarah, biting her leg. John acted quickly, driving the dog away and bringing Sarah back to the house. Nicole examined Sarah's injury and suggested they leave the island the next morning. However, John reassured everyone that he had treated her wound and believed the dog only attacked to protect its pup. The next day, Sarah began behaving strangely, eating excessively. Her friends noticed her unusual behavior. Nicole speculated that Sarah's excessive eating might be her body's way of recovering from the blood loss and healing her leg wound. Meanwhile, John decided to explore the island with Noah and Matt, bringing his bow to hunt for food. Noah carried his camera to capture the island's scenery. While Noah was taking pictures, he felt something strange nearby and suddenly saw a wild dog. He ran back to warn his friends about the rabid-looking dog. While discussing the situation, the injured groom from the previous day appeared, covered in bite marks from dogs. Before he could warn them, a pack of wild dogs attacked him. Witnessing this, John, Matt, and Noah fled back to the house to warn Sarah and Nicole. They decided to leave the island immediately, fearing for their lives. As they prepared to leave, a pack of dogs spotted them and attacked. Unable to reach their plane, the group retreated to the house. On the way, Nicole was bitten by a dog. John tried to rescue her, but accidentally shot her leg with an arrow instead of hitting the dog. Despite the injury, they managed to get back inside the house. Matt treated Nicole's wound, and she bravely encouraged the group to keep trying to escape. The group teased John about his archery mistake, given his reputation as an expert archer. Unfortunately, the dogs returned and surrounded the house. One dog broke through a window, attacking Noah, but John and Matt managed to fend it off. The group decided to attempt escaping again. However, when they looked at the plane, they found it surrounded by dogs and drifting away in the water. Realizing their escape options were dwindling, they returned to the house and barricaded the doors and windows with wood. They threw a blood-soaked blanket outside to distract the dogs. While the dogs were occupied, John and Matt devised a plan to reach a nearby storage shed for a vehicle. They tied a wire from the roof of the house to the shed and decided someone needed to cross it. Nicole, showing great courage, volunteered to go. As she reached the middle of the wire, the wheel she was holding onto stopped moving, leaving her stranded halfway. At that moment, Nicole was terrified because she was now suspended, and all the dogs were standing below her, waiting for her to fall. But at that moment, Nicole kept her composure and continued to walk on the rope with her hands and feet until she finally reached the garage. After that, she broke the glass and got into the car. Unfortunately, the car didn't start, and all of Nicole's attempts failed. When the dogs heard the sound of Nicole trying to start the car, they quickly entered the garage and attacked her from all sides, trying to get into the car by any means. But because Nicole was brave, she managed to climb out through the car's roof and then onto the garage roof. At that moment, she discovered that the wire she had crossed earlier was cut. At that point, John decided to do the right thing. He tied a new John decided to do the right thing. He tied a new wire to his arrow and shot it near Nicole. When Nicole took the wire, she tied it securely and managed to cross it, returning to the house. When night came, Noah played some music to calm them down. Half an hour later, however, the electricity went out, so Noah went down to the storage room to try to restore power. After many attempts, Noah succeeded in bringing electricity back to the house. But the strange thing was that before Noah came back up, he heard a sound around him. He thought it might be a rat and ignored it. Suddenly, a fierce dog appeared in front of him and attacked him. When Noah tried to push the dog away to escape, more dogs arrived and attacked him. At that moment, John and Matt heard his cries. When they reached the door, they realized that Noah was dying, and the dogs wouldn't leave him alone. They quickly shut the door to prevent the dogs from reaching them, but unfortunately, they couldn't do it in time because the dogs managed to enter the house and attacked everyone. Nicole then decided not to give up and tried to lead them to the attic. She quickly called the rest of the group to follow her. Nicole climbed up first, followed by Sarah and then Matt. But when John tried to climb, a dog grabbed his leg, pulling him down hard. Matt decided not to leave his friend behind, so he went down, fought off the dog, and saved John. Afterward, they all climbed into the attic. In the attic, John found important documents belonging to his uncle. John discovered that his uncle and other scientists were tasked by the military with training a group of dogs. Unfortunately, after experimenting on them, the situation spiraled out of control. The dogs became rabid, attacked everyone, and killed John's uncle and all the scientists involved in the project. When the military leadership found out, they didn't announce the news because all the rabid dogs were confined to one island and couldn't reach the city. After hearing this, the group became even more frightened. Each of them started planning ways to save themselves and escape the island. The next day, John and Matt went down to the garage to try once again to start the car. This time, they succeeded. Since Matt was pushing the car to help start it, the dogs came and tried to attack him. But Matt quickly climbed onto the car. When he grabbed John's axe and tried to fend off the dogs, he failed to use it effectively. John kept driving quickly to get away from the dogs. When Matt got inside the car, a dog suddenly appeared and attacked him. To fend off the dog, John hit it against some wood, managing to get it away from them. After ensuring the dogs were far away, they returned to the house to pick up Sarah and Nicole and attempt to escape. Nicole was already waiting for them, but Sarah was still in her room and hadn't come down. John told Matt and Nicole to get in the car and lock themselves inside, while he went upstairs to get Sarah. The surprise came when John entered Sarah's room and found her very sick. Beside her was a dog preparing to attack. When John tried to fend off the dog to protect Sarah, he failed and fell out of the window. Shortly afterward, both Sarah and the dog fell out of the window onto sharp wooden stakes, killing them both. Of course, John, Matt, and Nicole were devastated by what happened to Sarah, but they realized they had no choice and needed to escape quickly to avoid dying themselves. They all got into the car, and as they drove through the island, they reached the scientists' camp. They decided to enter the camp, hoping to find some means of communication to call for help. Once inside, they found analyses related to the dogs and the tools used to train them. As night fell, John turned on the camp's electricity to continue exploring and searching for a phone. When they finally found a phone, there was no signal. Even the transmission devices were all disconnected. At that moment, Nicole had an idea. She suggested that Jack climb the nearby communication tower and try to restore electricity to it. Jack followed Nicole's suggestion, climbed the tower, and restored electricity. When he told Nicole to turn on the power from her side, she did so. But at that moment, John got electrocuted and fell to the ground. Not only that, but the electrical surge caused a fire to break out in the entire area. The dogs, seeing the fire, quickly found their location and attacked them. At that moment, all the dogs attacked John. Matt rushed to help him, grabbing a flashlight as the dogs continued their assault on John. Quickly, Fidel grabbed the baseball bat and started hitting them, a bite guard. The dogs began to gather more and more, surrounding John and Matt and attacking them. Nicole, when she saw what was happening, decided at that moment to save them because both of them were going to die. Nicole blew up the entire camp, and with what she did, component placement, she managed to get rid of a very large group of dogs. But John and Matt were still surrounded by the dogs, who wouldn't leave them alone, trapping them from all directions. Luckily, at the last moment, Nicole came to them with the car, hitting all the dogs that surrounded them and managed to save John and Matt from the dogs. Afterwards, Nicole kept driving the car, but the dogs still wouldn't leave her alone and kept chasing her. After a while, she reached the sea and jumped into it with the car. Fortunately, the spot where they landed with the car was the same place where the boat of the couple we saw at the beginning was located. John, Matt, and Nicole quickly got onto the boat, and finally, they escaped from that island after spending the hardest days of their lives there. And that's how the movie ended. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for all the latest updates.